Pisces, welcome back and welcome to your November 2020 reading. So, if you haven't, let's just start off here. Make sure to subscribe. If you want to book a reading, all the info is always in my description box below the video. Let's get into this. Recently, interesting little factoid here, Pisces. I took a better look at my sidereal or Vedic chart, and I realized that my Mars and my Mercury are in Pisces. So that makes a lot of sense. And I now get, I think, why I have the connections I do with you guys. I understand how when you get worked up, your emotions and your sensitivity all kind of fire at the same time, and it makes it really difficult to express yourself clearly to other people. And you might come across, especially when you're frustrated or angry, but it's not comfortable for you, I think, to express anger because you truly never mean harm. You would rather play a game to get what you want rather than getting your hands dirty for the battle. Pisces are known to be a bit passive, letting life sometimes pass them by because they don't want to, or they can't really make the decision because, again, you're so open, you're so constantly swimming and learning and changing and developing, especially in your emotions. You're fluctuating so much that it's hard to direct it in any one way, to pin you down, to pin down your beliefs, to pin down your feelings. And yet this month pins them down quite well. So you might decide very suddenly, and maybe not even very suddenly. Let's rephrase that, because it's not sudden. Because you guys think about things on and off and going for sometimes years, especially when it comes to love. Yeah, we're going to get right in on that because that's what the cards threw at me, and let's talk about it. I know we don't want to talk about it, but here we are talking about it. There's no way to escape this situation, my lovely little escape artists, but to go through. The only way out of this, the only way to get by this is to finally go through it. Scorpio season has you really focused on how you feel in terms of relationships, how you feel in terms of love. And if you're single, it has you really desiring some love, connection, partnership. I know the card isn't out here, but before I turn on the video, I was pulling, I like to ask the deck, do you want to speak for Pisces? Do you have something, that you want to communicate to Pisces in this reading, just to make sure it's vibing with your energy? Two of Cups came right out. So love and equal relationships are on the mind. We have a desire to move past our singlehood. We feel developed enough, and we're looking for a more developed, stable partner who looks and is everything that we want them to be. Even though sometimes that's really hard for you guys to pin down. So we get caught up in all the dreaminess, all the emotional stuff, and all that escapist mentality of, I'm going to build a fantasy world in my head, and look at our love story from here. It looks amazing. It's like in, 1080p cinema shot. Like, it's perfect. It's beautiful, right? It's so beautiful when you're resting on it and you're thinking about it and you're developing these deep, deep feelings and a different understanding than what reality has of it. You've been sitting with this. Sorry, I'll put it in the right order so you guys can see how I'm looking at it. There's been a lot of waiting, let's be honest. A lot of waiting. And in all of the readings this month, let's just talk about this collective energy thing that's happening called the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, which is happening for the third time this month. And that, let's just talk about it in a basic way, in a way that maybe you guys have seen and can understand, especially if you live in America. The first time it hit, there were stimulus talks. The second time it hit, we were, you know, talking about it again. Or I think the first time actually is when the money came out and they, you know, were like, hey, we're going to give a stimulus package. The second time is when they were talking about it and it got delayed, and we've all kind of been screwed since then. But this third time, I mean, we might see movement ahead in that. But I'm just using it as an example in terms of it's something that keeps bubbling to the surface that needs to be dealt with, that people are asking about, that have to do a lot with our needs. And the astrology this month is not going to let anybody walk away. I mean, especially with the Scorpio new moon, like right at, like on the day after that Mars goes direct in Aries, you know, a couple days after the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, which is happening the 8th through the 12th. I mean, this next week, and because I'm actually reading this on the 9th, which is a nice, interesting day in terms of Venus opposition with Mars, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Let's just say it's going to be messy, and it's going to force us to deal with these things and to confront some really deeply felt emotions for somebody, for something that we've carried for a long, long time, and to confront it really head on. So let's look a little deeper at that, because the sun is there. And for me, particularly as a reader, I often get, especially the sun in this deck, when we're putting something out on the table, when the light is shining on something, we realize it, and then hopefully we speak it out loud. I feel that's going to be happening this month, especially after Mars goes direct in Aries. Mars rules our libidos. It rules our energy. It rules it rules all of that stuff. So it's going to be kind of a wake-up call and kind of an awakening for what we want in relationships and what we really desire. And I don't think that we're going to be able to put it on the back burner anymore. Not that I don't think so. I know so. I'm like waiting for the cards to come out to just tell me that. They're like, oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. It's time to pull out those swords and start moving forward. It's time to look at what makes us so afraid to go and put our feelings out there, to put our emotions out there. What do we fear so badly? Rejection? I feel like we have to have this talk every few months, don't we? But I do feel that this is the last time I'm going to be having this with you guys for a while, because confrontation is something that is here this month, because Mars is going direct. I mean, there's too much going on. We also have that, and again, if that doesn't hit you, you get that new moon in Scorpio. And then at the end of the month, you get the lunar eclipse full moon in Gemini. So we're going to be talking. We're going to be talking, and we're going to be talking about those deep things. You guys know Scorpios. You're a water sign. You know how Scorpios run, right? They're going to go straight for the jugular, whether you expect it or not. And when Mercury and Venus both move into Scorpio this month as well, cards are on the table, words out. Whether you like it or not, it's happening. And come on, one at a time. This is too much happening. There's a lot happening. A lot will be said at you. A lot of emotions. A lot of other people's emotions being thrown around. And you're going to have to decide what you feel like getting involved in terms of family, friends, all of that. Don't get involved in all of it, okay? Pick and choose your battles. Pick and choose what you're going to put your emotions into that don't have anything to do with you and your needs, your wants, all that this month, because you got a lot going on. We all do. So it's best to keep to ourselves in terms of taking on other people's problems, emotions, issues. Oh, yeah. Waiting for one more, and then I'll, face down. Let's take one face up, please. Okay, yep. And like I said, this is like a running theme in a lot of the readings this month. I would say all of them pretty much, is that, other than Scorpio, because I mean, it's their month and they're just fucking living it up. They're really enjoying this. The things are going well for them. I mean, there's always obstacles, but it's a Scorpio season, so they're like used to this kind of stuff. Whereas the rest of us are like, oh my God, I don't want to go there. Four of Cups, the moon. I do see our emotions as kind of a running river this month. And our subconscious is leaking into our surface level emotions. And that's like, again, because you guys have, being a Pisces, being a water sign, you have these different layers of emotions. You have the deeper ones. You have your latent emotions. You have all the surface level stuff. And that deeper stuff is going to come right up to the surface this month. And it's going to say, do you plan on doing something about this? Or are we going to sit here paralyzed in our fears that we've built up to a reality in our life? Something that has turned you on your head time after time after time will finally come to a head. And it will be, let's check it out. I mean, it'll probably be around that new moon, maybe a little before. Because what you want is to take something, and this is where it gets complicated. So let's just be real about the love thing. Let's talk real about it. Because if what these latent, deeper feeling, you know, whatever these feelings are that are coming up, especially in terms of relationship that I've been talking about here, this person, you might really love them, appreciate them for their friendship. You might care about them. This might even be someone that you're in a long-term, you know, friendship with. And you wonder if I can push for more. But do we want to disrupt this balance? Do they want it disrupted? I don't know. We might not be seeing things the same way that they're seeing them, even if there is an attraction there. It feels to me in some aspects that the friendship is more important to both of you, and especially so to them. And we don't want to be in this position of a loss. So it's good to understand things. It's good to talk about them. It's good to bring these things up to the surface, good or bad, just so we can deal with it. And this could be coming from, again, this desire for deep love, for commitment, for a relationship, for all those wonderful things that we see in loving, equal relationships. All those things that we want. And we just want it so badly. We want to start new on that, yeah. And we feel ready to, but there's more at play here. There's things we can't see. We don't see how pursuing something in a specific way might actually ruin a situation or change it forever. We have to look at those Seven of Swords, even within ourselves. What are we hiding? And come to a conclusion about it and move forward. Moving on emotionally is something that we have to do this month to get where we want to go. Absolutely. It's a lot of swords. It's a lot of mental energy. It's a lot of needing to look at it in that air sign mentality. Gemini, I said Gemini new moon, that eclipse in Gemini will help. But I'll be honest, It feels tough, right? To move on from something we feel never even had a chance to live, other than in our fantasies. And if you're in a relationship, it's time to do something new. It's time to make that decision about having more fun or doing something good for yourselves. It's time to plant some new seeds, new growth. No more of the same old, same old. It's like, let's see what else is out here. I know this has been a bit of a toughie, right? But don't give up. Ugh. Don't give up. Love is confusing and maybe not going to go the way we want it to this month. But it also shows us that we have more options than we thought before. I don't know why, but there's something about a Virgo that keeps coming back here. I just saw him again. Oh, there he is, right behind it. Expect the unexpected. Expect changes. Expect shifts. Let's see what they bring in. Yeah, somebody with a heavy Virgo placement might come in and transform your life a little bit here. If you're wanting to make some big moves in terms of work, where you live, traveling, I feel like that's really good right now. Trust your gut. Trust your instincts. Just, even though, again, like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to like write it down officially that love is going to go poorly or anything this month. It's just, we have to put our cards on the table and see what happens. We got to talk about it. And I think that's the only way you're going to be able to work your way through this and see where everything stands, where all the pieces fall. And I don't think this conjunction is just going to let you skate by that, because even if you do skate by that through the conjunction, the feelings are going to come up. You're eventually going to need to talk about it because it's going to be so intensely pressing that you do internally. And then you get the new moon in Scorpio, and then you get Mercury and Venus moving into Scorpio, and then you get that lunar eclipse in Gemini at the end of the month. So no, you're not getting away from this. That's for damn sure. Like, absolutely not. That Tower moment is absolutely coming. It's just like all the other signs. Do you want to take steps to do something with it? Do something that is positive for you with it? Do you want to start making the first moves, or do you want to let the universe come in and pull the rug out from under your feet? I feel like I just asked that same question to Virgos, but that's what needs to be done. Okay, but overall, things will be good. Confusing, a lot of energy. But it's when we can finally see things clearly again. We're going to see what we need to see clearly. The thing that has come up several times and we haven't been able to see clearly will come up again this time. And we will have our blindfold taken off. We will be released from this imprisonment that we put ourselves in. Okay. So don't drive yourselves crazy this month. Don't try to escape. You will. You absolutely will try to escape this stuff. Like, that is no... Like, you're going to try to do the same old, for sure. But now that I know the Tower's there, I mean, it's not going to happen that way. It's not going to happen that way. We're going to have to try something new. We're going to have to adapt. Because when Temperance is reversed, you're like, no. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm not going to learn. We don't learn from the past. I'm not doing it like that. It's not happening. This time you have to. I don't think you can get through this month without that. So just be aware that just because things are feeling like they're fluctuating right now and that you're in the midst of a lot of change, you are building solid ground by the end of this month. A lot of cards out here, and if it's something to do with a Taurus, I'll just end it on this because it's a positive card. If it's something to do with a Taurus or something that you want to manifest with a Taurus, love, money, a job, if you have some idea and it might have nothing to do with a Taurus, but the Empress always makes me feel like Taurus. That's the first thing that came through. So if it's that kind of stuff, it's good. It was something really nice to build with them. They're just waiting. They're waiting for you to catch up to where they're at a little bit. And again, anything that you really want to manifest in terms of love, money, comforts, start doing it. And stop telling yourself that you can't do anything about the position that you're in, because you can. Anyways, I love you guys. Let's pull an oracle and be done with this, because this is a madness reading, it feels like. I love you guys so much. But I feel like that's why we always get so many cards in your reading, because you guys try to swim away and we don't want to deal with the responsibilities and what we have to do about it. You guys are kind of known for not being able to tie up loose ends. Well, the loose ends are going to come back to get you now. So there you go. If you want to book a private reading, guys, all the info is below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And check me out over on Instagram at Deku Tarot. Oh, there we go. We're getting one. Unknown. This is a number 1, actually. The number 1 card. I love seeing that one. I'm sorry I have to hold it sideways. We are all pilgrims on the path to the unknown. We sit in awe at the wonder of the architecture of power. Ripen the receptive void within you, like a womb accepting a seed. Open yourself to the unknowable, to what is unfamiliar to you, so that the energy of what you need in order to be whole can flow into you. When you think of yourself as an entity separate from power, you will obstruct the current and power will defeat you. Identify the form of power you want, what you want to accomplish, build, create, or be, and become that, so there is no separating you. If you guys want to book a private reading, again, all the info is below, along with all the information to check out Truly Divine's astrology, compatibility, and numerology analysis readings. They are like 9-10 pages long. You can keep them forever. They're so in-depth and incredible. And you can use my code DEKU30 to get 30% off, and you can use that as many times as you want. So have a wonderful and blessed rest of November. I love you guys. Just keep swimming.